आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
On the 28th of February 1948, the last batch of British soldiers left India. The withdrawal of British forces began on the 17th of August 1947, when the first army units and a large contingent of the Royal Air Force sailed from Bombay. Concluding the phased withdrawal, the 1st Battalion of the Somerset Light Infantry took out a ceremonial parade through the streets of Bombay and halted at the Gateway of India.
During the farewell ceremony, guards of honor were provided by the units of the newly formed Indian Army. Both the Indian and British military bands exchanged salutes and played the other's national anthem. The British were presented with parting gifts, an oil painting, the Indian tricolour, and a silver model of the Gateway of India.
Raja Maharaj Singh, the first post-independence governor of Bombay, read messages of farewell and good wishes from Lord Mountbatten and Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru.
To the tune of the popular farewell song Auld Lang Syne, translated from Scottish as "For old time's sake," the last of the British troops marched out through the Gateway of India and boarded the Empress of Australia for their journey home.
We pay tributes to freedom fighter and first president of sovereign India, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who died on the 28th of February 1963. A supporter of Mahatma Gandhi, Prasad was imprisoned by British authorities during the Salt Satyagraha and the Quit India movement. Upon independence in 1947, he was elected as President of the Constituent Assembly of India. In 1950, he became the first President of India and encouraged the development of education in India. In 1957, Prasad was re-elected to the presidency, becoming the only president to serve 2 full terms. He stayed in office for the longest term of around 12 years and later set up new guidelines for parliamentarians, which are still followed. On his passing away, the entire nation mourned the loss, paying glowing tributes to his selfless life, devoted entirely to the service of the people of India. The then Speaker of Lok Sabha, Hukum Singh, had observed,
"A great freedom fighter and an ardent patriot. As President of the Constituent Assembly, he guided its deliberations with patience and foresight. He was the first President of India in very difficult and formative stages. An intellectual endowed with humility and humanism, he had worked among the poor and lowly and understood their difficulties. He maintained the dignity of the office and yet lived a simple and dedicated life. He laid foundations and established traditions worthy of the constitutional head of a state."
In the Rajya Sabha, its chairman, Dr. S. Radhakrishnan, eulogized the noble qualities of Rajan Babu in the following words.
"It may be said of Rajendra Prasad, more truly than of anyone else, that he was a perfect gentleman, the embodiment of the best in Indian life, a symbol of the good Indian. His services to the nation have already become a saga in the history of the emancipation of our country."
We also remember martyr Sursi, who died on the 28th of February 1858. She took part in the First War of Indian Independence of 1857 along with her son Bhim Naik, a prominent Bhil leader of Nimar, Madhya Pradesh. Sursi was captured by the British troops near Saloda on the 8th of February 1859 following a serious encounter with troops at her command. She was imprisoned and tortured physically and mentally at Mandaleshwar Fort and died in detention on the 28th of February 1859. We salute the great freedom fighter.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.